right, here we go.
The 6AX Classic Breakfast with Nat Westo.
Joining us this morning, a man who is very good at making us laugh. And on this occasion, it may well be at his expense. There's a brand new show on Saturday called Oops, I Bought a Pub, and the man behind it is the purchaser of said pub. Good morning, Shane Jacobson.
Good morning indeed. How are we doing?
Oh, look, we're doing okay, mate, because we haven't just forked out a lot of money to buy, sight unseen, a pub in a little regional town of Victoria, mate. What the hell is going on, Shane?
Oh, well, what was I thinking? Yeah, I know what you're saying. The only good
Lord.
news, as it turns out, is even if it's a bad choice, you've got access to have a beer at the end of every day. And boy, do you need it. Yeah, it's, you know, I wasn't one of those people, I'm not telling you this story for the sake of dropping a name, but Todd McKenny, who's a mate of mine, when I first told him I'd purchased a pub, he said, "Oh, I just assumed you already owned one." So, according to everyone else, they just kind of think I'm the kind of, I look like that guy that owns a pub, but I look like a publican. I don't know what that means, but it means something apparently. But the truth was I'd never planned on having a pub, but a mate of mine, Dean Murphy, who's a movie director and a writer, who I'd worked with a lot of most of the projects I've done with Paul Hogan, I've done with Dean. We're all mates, and I've worked with Dean many, many times over the years. Here's the important bit to note, is Dean's never had a drink of alcohol in his life.
Wow.
And he sent me an email once that had nothing to do with the pub, and at the bottom of the email it said, "Oh, by the way, mate, have you ever thought about buying a pub?" So I rang him. I thought, oh, man, he's finally had a drink and he's gone mad. I rang him and said, "What are you talking about? You wouldn't even know what a pub is." And he goes, "Well, I know what a pub is." I said, "Have you ever been inside one?" He said, "You know, they serve soft drink and food inside pubs." And I'm like, "Do they?" I didn't know that. But I've never turned my back from the bar. I didn't know what they were doing behind me.
I hear
you. And so, yeah, and he was like, I'm like, "I buy a pub," and he said, "Not just any pub, it's the Dedarang Hotel." And dare I say, the rest is history. But it is, the truth is, I did buy it sight unseen, and my wife was as big a fan of it as I was. So, yeah, it's a hell of a journey, which is obviously what the show's all about.
Just to give it context, you've mentioned you've bought it sight unseen, but it is a run-down country pub, and you've never run a pub before. So I can see that this will go really smoothly.
Swimmingly.
The byline of the show is what could possibly go wrong. I would suggest across 6 episodes you're going to find out. It's she is an old pub, and a beautiful pub filled with character, filled with history. And Dave McKnight, who's owned and run the pub for 36 years now, and incredibly successfully, and he's probably the most loved human I've ever met. And again, well deserving. But it just needed work for it to kind of get pushed into the future. And to ensure it could, it's been around since the 1800s, this pub, for us to ensure it could go for another 100 years, there was work that had to be done.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. People were thrilled that we bought the pub because they were worried no one was going to buy it. But then you find out a lot of the locals go, it's great, but don't change anything. And you go, we've got to change a fair bit. The toilets, people standing at the old bar, if you looked backwards from the bar, you could see man weeing in the urinal when you looked through the door. And when we said we might have to move that toilet, they said, fair enough, but don't change anything else. We said the disabled toilet should come in from outside. It's terrible out there. It's freezing. Oh, fair enough. But don't change anything else. The women's toilet's terrible. We need to fix that. Oh, fair enough. But don't change anything else. So
I can relate to I relate to some of what you're saying, Shane, because I've been online late at night and I've had a couple of brewskis. But normally, if I'm buying stuff online, it's normally on Temu or eBay, and I end up with, like costumes and stuff for the dogs. But was there alcohol involved when you bought the pub before you even paid the money?
So online, you get clothes for a pup, and online, I get the contract for a pub.
Yes.
Serious.
Yes. Yes.
It's only one letter's difference.
I was sober when I did it.
Wow.
And I think that's the strangest part, because I think even the drunk me would have said no.
Yes. And yet you forged ahead.
Well, here's the thing that's interesting, is I'll tell you who was the least path of resistance was my wife.
Wow.
She's got Irish heritage, and she literally, none of this, I haven't made any of this up. She walked in the office, she came in the house, walked past my office. I said, I'm on the phone to Dean, say hi to Dean. G'day, Dean. G'day, love. How are you? Great to speak. All saying hi. Because I've got the phone sitting on the desk because I'm tapping away on the keyboard, and I got the phone on speaker, and she said, "What are you boys up to?" And I said, "What are you working on?" And I said, "Well, we were working on this until Dean sent me an email about a pub, so that's what we're looking at." And she goes, "What do you mean a pub?" She said, "Dean doesn't drink." And I said, "Yep, had that chat." Been crossed that field, and I'm flicking through the photos, and she looked at it, and halfway through flicking through the photos, she said, "I love it."
Wow.
And I went, "Oh." I said, "Are we buying a pub?" She said, "Looks like it."
Wow.
And within 3 minutes, we'd said yes to buying the pub. Normally, I'm not someone that takes my time to make a decision. I'm pretty quick. I go, "Oh, yeah, that sounds like a good thing. Let's go for it." But for something this size, I would normally take more than 3 minutes.
And was it your own money as well?
We had some investors come in.
Yep.
Dean and I put in money, definitely. But I had some friends who, as soon as I said I'm looking at buying a pub, they said, "Oh, we'd be interested in putting money into that." So it wasn't something we had to kind of go out to the community for. All of them are sort of friends and family or friends of friends. So, the group of people put money in and said, "Let's do this." So Dean and I ran the project without a doubt, and then we had a series of investors who are all part of it, who come up to the pub and drink with us, as well, and come and we've got cabins up the back. So, it's good fun, but was it a hell of a journey with some unexpected hurdles? Oh yeah.
I saw a little note here that may have given you flashbacks to a previous venture of yours, but Shane faces mounting challenges from septic tank disasters.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so that wasn't a world I wanted to revisit in a hurry. But that's the other thing, the tradies, I just can't tell you, especially the plumbers, every time they walked around the pub working on it, and they Kenny, I kept getting called Kenny by them, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they know my name by now. and we had to put in portaloos. Oh, man. We had to put in portaloos while we're getting all the toilets redone and all the septic upgraded. And every time I had to walk outside to the portaloos, some of the locals would go, "Oh, yeah, Kenny."
You'll never live it. Mate, what were you thinking, by the way, when you booked a wedding that was going to happen right in the middle of all the renos?
Well done.
What was going on?
I would suggest I wasn't thinking.
Okay.
It felt like a really good idea at the time. It's like offering to help your neighbour. When you say, "Look, if you ever need a hand, I notice you haven't got anyone to help you out, don't be afraid to give me a yell." And then they say, "Look, can you come and help me erect a shed?" And you go, "Yeah, of course." And you go out there and it's a 10-car garage, and you go, "This is the worst thing I've ever done." You don't, but it felt really good when you made the offer, and it was genuine. So, I thought it was a good idea, and again, I still believe in my decision because there was the guy Tyrone, who's our bar manager, and there's a beautiful lady called Bianca who works for us, and it turns out they met at the pub and they were engaged, and they had been together for 7 years.
Wow.
And I found that out, and then said, "Oh, when's the big day?" And they said, "Oh, we can't afford it." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, because what is it you're planning on doing?" They said, "Well, we just want to get married here at the pub, but we still can't afford it." And I just went, and they had their 7th anniversary coming up in 8 weeks, and I just thought it'd be lovely for them to have it at the pub. And I said, "Look, I reckon, how would you like to have it here?" And he was almost speechless. And so he had to ring her to see if she was up for it. And then, I said, "Well, I reckon we have it here." And I went to Dean and said, "We'll be right in 2 months." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And to say that put pressure on the builders would be an understatement.
I mean, have you seen some of these reno shows? Nothing runs according to plan, mate.
Yeah, I'm an optimist, which is a really stupid way to be. I can't tell you how often during those 8 weeks that, like, a week would go by and then one of the builders would go, "So you reckon we're going to get this done in 7 weeks?" And I can't tell you how nervous it made me when the experts are saying to me, "So you reckon this will be ready in time?" I'm like, "Well," and I kept saying things like, "Yeah, well, it kind of has to be." And, I didn't know if that was going to work. I can't, there's footage of how bad the back of the pub in particular where they were going to get married looked 7 days before the wedding, and it looked like Gallipoli. It looked like it was so bad. Even when I had to walk the bride-to-be out the back to say, "We're going to get you to walk up this party," it was just covered in massive dump masters and bobcats and old bits of tin. And I could see her face like, this is never going to get there. So, and again, people will think, "Oh, they made that up for the TV show," but I promise we didn't.
That's unreal, mate. I'm really looking forward to it. It's 6 parts, so 6 episodes. And it starts on Saturday night. It's called Oops, I Bought a Pub, 8 o'clock on 7 and 7+. This is exciting, mate. I mean, we're going to have a good laugh, like Westo said, at your expense.
At your expense.
Yeah, no, Westo pretty much nailed it.
Yep.
Shane Jacobson, mate, it's always a pleasure. You're a very entertaining man, and I'm looking forward to what I'm guessing will end successfully, but it sounds like there's a fair few disasters along the way.
It's like raising a kid. You love them, but, man, they can take some work.
And before you go, mate, what's on special at IGA, do you know?
Oh.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you head down the end of aisle 4, the little leg ham with the bone in it, if it's got a bone in it, it's Australian ham. Yeah, go down there, you'll get a very special deal. I actually don't know if it is at the end of aisle 4.
I'm sure it is at one of the IGAs, it'll be. Now, one last thing before we wrap up is we're talking about touchy-feely people today, Shane. Are you a touchy-feely person, or do you get a little bit freaked out when people are a bit touchy-feely around you? I'm sure they'd want to come up and cuddle up to Kenny.
Stroke your beard.
Well, it's a good question, but I guess what I'm terrified about is how we're framing that question, because a knife can be used to spread butter or to murder someone. And when someone says, "Are you touchy-feely?" I go, "Well, Your Honour, I would like to explain." I'm a hugger.
Yep.
I'm definitely a hugger. No, I'm not freaked out because a lot of people do come up. I'm told I'm very approachable, whatever that means. So I do have a lot of people come up and shaking my hand and whacking their hand on my shoulder, or some people go, "Oh, give me a hug," and you're right, they go, "Give me a hug, Kenny," all that kind of stuff. And you know what? I come from a family of huggers, and so I guess the truth is, I am. I am the kind of person that loves to give someone a hug. And my dad always, when he shook someone's hand, he did that thing where he rests his other hand on their wrist as he's shaking it. I always thought that was a really lovely way of doing it. So I find myself doing the same.
Yeah. No, I'm touchy-feely too, mate. And I think it's because people come up to you because you are so bloomin' approachable. You're just a genuinely nice bloke.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know what? I'll take that. You know, my dad, I've always said, my dad always said that, on his gravestone, he'd love it to say, "Here lies a nice guy," or "Here lies a decent bloke," So I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Well, mate, there's touchy-feely, and then there's Nat, which is just copping a feel, you know?
Oh, I once accidentally touched your buttocks, and I've not heard the end of it.
Once and accidentally.
Well, they're very tight, to be fair. They're very, very tight buttocks, Shane.
Are we supposed to end this sentence with, "and that is the entire basis of my defence"?
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking.
You may need to send me the details of your lawyer. Shane Jacobson, you are a star, mate, and thank you very, very much. Good luck with your pub.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And hopefully at some point I'll get to see maybe you two there and we'll have a beer.
Oh, mate, you know what? I'd love that. Really would love it.
Absolutely, mate. If you're ever over here, it'd be great to have you in the studio.
I love it over West. I've always said the thing I love, there's a million things to love about being over West, and I do go back and forth a fair bit. We get woken up by the sun, which is really annoying, but you guys get to put it to bed, and there's nothing better than sitting there on the beach watching that sun go down. It's one of my pure joys in life, is being over West and watching the sun go to bed over that ocean. It's fantastic.
You are a star, mate. Thank you
so
for
much.
spending time with us. We really do appreciate it, Shane.
Pleasure.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
The Classic Breakfast with Nat and Westo. Weekday mornings from 5:30 on 6AX.
I'm done. Stick a fork in me.
I feel good.